Hey guys, I got another shipment of awesome locks from our good friend Bill Croft, the collector. He wanted to see if I could open all of these, and the first one I'd like to take a crack at. First one out of the box is this Abus Rock, an 8380. This thing is absolutely massive. And just for comparison, I thought the Sergeant & Greenleaf Environmental was probably about the biggest lock I was ever going to see, and you know what? This rock is about twice the size, twice as heavy. And for comparison, something maybe more of you are familiar with is the Master Lock number 3. It's tiny compared to this Abus Rock. Anyway, I do have a key for this. Bill did send me the key. Unfortunately, it's inside of this mummified little coffin here, and he said no peeking. So I'm not going to cheat because I think we can open this Abus without a key like we always do. So give me a minute, let me move this trash out of the way and figure out how I'm going to fit this huge thing inside of a vise so we can try to give it a pick. Alright, I'm standing across the room from this thing because that's the only way I can get it framed up in the video. Alright, so framed up, locked, everything's clamped well. I'm going to try top of the keyway. It is a paracentric keyway, and see if we can attack it like that. There is a pretty significant spring tension on this core, and I think the manufacturers, these nasty Abus engineers, have figured out that the spring tension makes it much more difficult to pick. So more and more manufacturers seem to be doing that. When we got heavy spring tension like this, it's a delicate balance between too much tension, so all your pins will seize up, and not enough tension where none of them will seize up. So the way I do it, I put moderate tension, and then I just start moving down the stack to see if they're all springy. If they're all springy, like this seems to be now, maybe I need to apply some more tension. And I'll do, pin 1 feels like pin 1, so I'm pretty close. So let's see if we can, or maybe I'm on the warding. It's hard to tell from this angle. Tell you what, let me turn this so you can at least halfway see what I'm doing. So I can get the pick in there. Alright, pin 1, let's see if that was okay. So pin 1 looks like he's the gatekeeper. You notice we got a little turn on the core. So he's probably a standard pin. So again, keeping the same tension, let's go down the stack, see if we can find another binder. Hopefully somebody that'll give us a little bit of feedback. I mean, everybody's springing, it seems like. Oh, I'm on pin 2, and we got the slightest of feedbacks there. Let's go ahead and, well, he clicked, but there was no give in the core there. Let's try that again. I might have fallen off of there we go. My pick, because it's only 15 thousandths, had slid off of the pointed end of the key pin. I just touched pin 6 and I got a slight turn. I don't know if he's set though, but he's definitely springy now. Nothing. Let's go through that again. Everybody's springy. I may have to apply a little more tension. There we go. I'm on pin, it's like 4. I'm going to pass on that one. Okay, 6 and 5 are both still springy. 4 has a little bit of feedback. Oh man, that's a heck of if that's a spool, that's a heck of a spool. Okay, we've lost our fault set, so I'm just going to jump up to pin 1. No, thought our gatekeeper had popped, but it looks like he's still in place. Pin 3. Okay, that was pin 1. Now, pin 1 did pop, so we're now back to our fault set. Pretty deep fault set now. Pin 3 again. The spring tension on these cores definitely makes it a challenge, I gotta tell you. pin 3. And there we go. Alright. Well, Bill, there you go. Your Abus Rock 8380. Let's go ahead and... I have never gutted one of these. Let's go ahead and see what's inside of here. So we're at what, 4 minutes? So if you're not interested in the gutting, go ahead and turn the video off. We're going to need a huge... I don't have a huge Phillips, but I have a regular Phillips. Let's see if I can Loctite it in there. Okay, I've never taken one of these apart, so there we go. That was too easy. And that looks like a machined armor plate. That's not a cast. This is really heavy duty. Very solid. Okay, our looks like a stainless steel screw fell out. And it looks like a Euro core. Well, let's pop that dude out of there. Okay, I don't want to take the key. We still have it sealed up in this little mummy. I don't want to take him out because there are other locks, and Bill wanted me to. So I'm going to pick the locks before I peeked at the key. So, okay, there's your spring down there. I'm not going to take that nasty thing out. I've learned from experience that once you take those out, they're damn near impossible to get back in. All right, so it looks like a standard Abus core. So let's see what we need. We need let's move this out of the way. We need a flat tip to remove. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see what's going on. I'm going to take off the C-clip. All right. Okay, the thing about Abus is, I don't know if you've ever taken these apart. I've had some bad experiences with these because you have this limiter, this little detent, this spring-loaded detent right here. And you can see it goes in and out. If you turn this in such a way that that detent goes into the upper part of the Bible where the upper or the drivers are, you are totally hosed. It is hell to get it out of there. So for goodness sake, don't turn your core in such a way that this detent, once you depress it and begin sliding it out, if you turn it and allow it to go inside the Bible, you'll never get it apart. So let's try not to do that. All right, I think we can just slide this. Make sure we got the right size here. Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to push the detent in and slide it forward just a bit. So it begins to move out, and there you see we got exactly what we want. Let's turn this. Alright, no disaster. There's your 6 pins. Doesn't look to be anything unusual about this core. It's not chamfered or threaded. There's no counter milling, nothing, no evilness in there. There are some, interestingly, I've never seen these before on an inexpensive Abus. These are anti-drill pins, and I don't know, let me put my finger on here. We don't have any on the bottom, just on the top there. Alright, so let's start dumping pins. Ah. Okay, all the bottom pins are all standards. And let's find some tweezers. Here we go. Okay, we got a... Come on, baby. Well, we'll look at them. It looks like a little serrated kind of thing. And a deep spool. Another deep spool. Another spool. Another spool. And a 5th spool. And that should be it. Alright, fellas, what we're looking at, 6-pinner. nothing too spectacular. We have this little, almost like a, we can back this out so we can get a real close focus, but almost like a serrated. This was the gatekeeper, but it has two little serrations. I really didn't notice them, to be honest with you. And the rest of these are just nice, sharp, long, deep spools. And then, of course, when you're fighting that spring-loaded core, you're going to have a little bit of trouble figuring out exactly where you are. But just pay attention and try to balance that tension while you pick. I think you'll figure it out. It was not that difficult for being such a honking big lock. Anyway, Bill, thank you, sir, for the lock. Everybody else, thanks for your time. Stay safe. And for goodness sake, stay legal.